bad movies, bad life advice, and even worse life decisions. We cover it all here on the Life with Kenny podcast. I'm your host, Kenny. Grab a beer, sit back, and relax for this week's episode, because things are about to get weird.
What's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this?
Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Fuck me gently with a chainsaw.
Jimmy was off the hook. I know you really don't listen to Slipknot.
Does your Rhino?
You are listening to a Life with Kenny podcast.
Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go.
All right, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Movie Night, the podcast series where we discuss the best and worst movies in cinema history. I got a feeling it's about to get a whole lot worse the next couple weeks. But for now, we're going to be watching Shaun of the Dead. I'm joined by my co-hosts, my regular co-hosts, Kyle and Patrick.
Why did he get introduced before me this time?
Well, because this is your pick of the
Because
week,
fuck you.
And I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna start doing this thing where I ask the person who picked the movie why this was the movie that they picked every week.
I just want you to know I'm not pleased about it.
Okay, well, I mean,
let's restart.
we're gonna have to. Hello and welcome.
It was awkward for me too.
But yeah, why did you pick Shaun of the Dead for this week's movie?
I fucking love this film. I've seen it so many times. It's just brilliant.
Me too.
So this is gonna be
It's like Doghouse, but with more understandable comedy.
right.
Yeah.
More translated in general to general audiences.
It's for all audiences, not just geezers.
Exactly.
You know.
Even like 4-year-olds, you'd say?
I don't know if I'd let a 4-year-old watch this. Nor would a 4-year-old.
Sorry,
be very
everyone.
interested in it.
To correct him, not all audiences.
What?
Yeah, no, I think there's something in there for 4-year-olds. We'll
Where in Shaun of the Dead is there something for 4-year-olds?
We'll
You
talk
just
about
said 2 seconds ago it's for all audiences. I'm just busting your ass, man.
So today's movie, Shaun of the Dead, came out in 2004. It's starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, which are British royalty.
They are, basically, yeah, they're good lads.
It was directed by Edgar Wright, and it was written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. This movie, interestingly enough, was released the same year as Dawn of the Dead, the remake, which me and Patrick had actually discussed a long time ago.
Yeah, a very long time ago.
Probably the second episode of Movie Night, I think.
That was pre-puberty for me, I think.
Yeah, don't mention anything in the elementary school era. I don't want you going into a trance here. But yeah, so we're going to talk about this movie, but before we get too far, I'll ask you guys these questions that we do every episode, and then we can talk about stuff that we've been watching, because I feel like me and Kyle have a lot.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So, Patrick, you've obviously seen this movie before. When's the last time you saw it?
1843.
Damn, you guys are old. Back in the day when Jack the Ripper was tearing apart hookers in back alleys, you were sitting there.
Based upon a story written by Jack the Ripper,
right?
Whose real name was actually Cliff Richardson, not to be confused with Cliff Richard, the musician.
Are you making this up?
Oh yeah,
100%. Nobody knows who Jack the Ripper is, except it's H.H. Holmes. You can dive into that one, Kyle, for a Life Legends episode. But,
I've heard you say that. Don't believe it.
Kyle, have you seen this movie before?
I've seen parts of it. I've never sat through the whole thing. Just on TV, I've seen parts.
Yeah, I feel like for a while it was one of those movies that always had some sort of play on TV, but it was one of those flipping through, kind of had it on in the background. Nobody really paid attention to it, but
It's hard for me to watch British movies until I met Patrick.
yeah, they got annoying voices, them Brits.
yeah, do, don't they? They fucking suck.
Before we watch the movie, we like to discuss what we've been watching and what movie trailers have caught our attention, which reminds me we should watch those movie trailers.
I've seen them.
Oh, I've seen them too. We'll
talk about the trailers when we come back. But for now, I'm gonna read real quick. We got a review that came in again this week, not from Kyle's wife this time.
Oh,
Yes.
This one's from Ali M36913, which means Ali M36912 was already taken. They wrote hilarious, relevant, and diverse topics. It's a 5-star review. It says, I love this podcast. It's a mix of all my favorite podcasts in one. The 3 main hosts all have different points of view, and it makes for an interesting listen on every episode. I tell all my friends about it, and we all listen now. Keep up the good work.
Who's that? Is that someone you know?
That's it was just Kyle's wife just changed her name and wrote.
She's nuts.
I was going to say, I don't know who she's talking about by the 3 main hosts, because as far as I'm concerned, this is the Life with Kenny podcast. And no, just...
Yeah, you have 3 personalities.
No, I just got like a whole burst of small dick energy.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start putting our face on everything. So.
No, I don't want to do that. It'd be dirty.
But yeah, thank you guys for the reviews. If you're out there and you want to help us out, go like, subscribe, and rate and review us on iTunes. That does actually help us reach other people and new audiences.
Tell like one friend.
Yeah. Was that a genuine person, or was that like a friend of someone's?
Yeah, it was a genuine person.
Oh, fuck. Cheers,
It wasn't a robot.
Well, I know it's not a robot, but you know, everyone's got that one friend that's just overly supportive. Like you could kick a toddler and they'd be like, "Good job, man." I thought
tell them who it was?
Actually, I'm like 90% sure that's the listener who recommended the Midnight Meat Train.
Which is
we're gonna be
Tori's
watching.
sister.
We're going to be watching it next week. So, yeah, it's all in the family here.
Yeah, we have so many fans. We're so good. But she was right. Everything she said was so correct and accurate.
I feel like we've all got different point of views.
Yeah.
I mean, you two are basically fucking clones, but I bring a bit of diversity to the group.
I don't know if that's true. I gave
Friggin'
Sleepaway
bloke.
Camp a huge fucking rating, and this dude was fucking miserable the whole time.
Oh, Kyle wanted to kill himself during that
exactly.
movie. Fucking hell.
Oh, and if the guys at work say tranny tricked one more time, sing that song to me, I'm going to fucking lose it.
Are they just walking out with their dick tucked, or what? How's that working?
It is a jam, to be fair.
They're sexually harassing you at work now.
We should cover that.
I did. I did. Yeah, but let's talk about some things that we've been watching, because this time we actually had a little bit of a break. It's been just over a week since we got together to record. So I've actually watched a decent amount of shit. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot. Maybe Patrick, since I feel like you probably have watched the least out of all of us. Because Kyle's been telling me a shitload he's been watching. That you
I
can
watched
maybe...
a bunch of porn.
Yeah, there we go. Do you want to give us some reviews? What's your favorite? What's the...
I don't know.
What's it
I
right now?
never really get far. I usually bosh it out in about a minute. So
Yeah. So,
It's the plot that
technically
does it
you've
for me.
watched, out of the whole week, you've watched maybe the total of half a porno?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they make full-length movies, because no one's there for the story, are they?
Well, it's for when you're waiting for your pizza.
True. Oh no, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah. How many times does the tranny trick song pop up when you're watching the porno?
I usually just have it on in the background.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah.
He's got it muted.
Just helps me get there quicker.
You just have that one scene on repeat. Just,
What did I watch? I watched the belly wasn't necessary. I watched The Girl on the Train with Raph last night.
oh really? How was that? Melissa
It's
started watching it the other day.
Actually, pretty fucking cool.
Is that I might be way off, but is that to do with like the girl with the dragon tattoo?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
no.
it's
Yeah.
based on a book though. Who is it? Is it Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Emily Blunt movie. It's comparable to Gone Girl from what I've heard. If you've seen Gone Girl,
Yeah, kind of, but with less twisties in it.
just like really gut wrenching stuff. Apparently, though, like it's really
Relatively, yeah.
So-
I don't know. I also had pizza, so I was feeling pretty fresh during the whole thing.
right.
Yeah, their struggles were lessened by the fact that I had some tasty munch with me.
We eat lots of pizza, you guys.
Yeah, man, it's a miracle that we're not both. Both. There's 3 of us. What's the word for 3?
Well, you said we're basically the same, so we can say both.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we're just one fucking blob now. We're a unanimous blob that just loves pizza. You just feed us pizza.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. Just turn into a blob.
Yeah.
All right, so you watched Girl on the Train while you ate pizza.
Yeah. I know that's pretty much it, really. I didn't have much. Yeah, no, I didn't watch a lot at all. Fuck me, I'm boring. Go on. You
That's
boys-
okay, because
you
the
boys
blob
talk.
the blob will have you covered over here. So
Yeah, you go.
that reminds me. Do you know that? Have you heard of the movie Stuck on You before? I believe
Is that like
Matt
conjoined
Damon is
twins?
in it or
Yeah,
something.
Matt Damon.
They're conjoined twins.
Yeah. Why did I guess that right? I was trying to make a joke.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's actually
no.
pretty funny. I thought
Well,
about maybe
there's
putting it in the
parts.
bucket,
Yeah.
but
It's not great.
yeah, when I just thought of the Blob, I just pictured me and Kyle as a conjoined twin. And
Fuck, would that suck?
That's weird.
just look away.
Oh, if I had to be
private
stuck
time.
to you for like an hour, I'd fucking lose my mind.
Okay, Kyle, how about you tell us what you got going on this past week that you've been watching?
I watched High
'Cause you-
School Musical 1 through 6.
There's only 3.
There's 6?
Nice try. They're developing a TV series though for the Disney Plus network.
That's
Yeah,
very
it's
sad.
gonna be great.
Am I
You know way too
mouth
much.
breathing into the microphone, by the way? Because I feel like I might be. I can't hear myself mouth breathing, but I
Well,
don't know if that's just because my mouth breathing is too loud for me to hear.
I think it's because the furnace isn't on to drown it out. So
true. Yeah,
yeah, just wait a couple minutes to kick in when
I'll
we go
try and
watch the
control
movie.
it, but I'm very sorry if all you can hear is.
It's like watching a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh yeah, I watched all the Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah,
legit.
No.
Friday the 13th, 1 through 13. Just starts making shit up.
All right, so for real, I watched a lot of documentaries. I watched a really good one called The Jinx, which we talked about.
Yeah,
I did watch it.
you finally finished it.
Yeah.
And you were telling me a little bit about your thoughts on it, but you want to talk about it more on Life Legends?
Yeah, I think that I'd like to you and me tell Patrick about it, and I'll refresh your memory a lot because last time we tried explaining it, you were way off.
It's kind of like how you guys were talking about the Madeline McCann
And we were
story,
dead on.
Except the difference was I hadn't seen the Jinx in like 4 years, but you guys had just seen it the week before.
Look, if it was a simple story, they would have found her.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
So yeah, I watched
yeah.
that. The Jinx, very
Yeah,
good.
I'll probably rewatch it in the next week or two.
Well
but
put together documentary.
we should almost maybe hold off a week on that one, just
Yeah.
so that I can maybe get refreshed as well, and we can tell Patrick about that one.
And then I watched the Ted Bundy tapes, which it was okay.
Yeah, that one's
Did you watch that, Patrick,
Tough.
on Netflix?
I watched some of it, but I couldn't get really very far into it
After
or through it.
After the first episode, it gets a little better. The first episode I found very boring.
yeah, it's a tough watch because I personally I feel like they don't convey just how much of a monster the guy is. They definitely get across how likable he was.
Yeah.
Which made him kind of the monster that he was. But
Yeah.
they don't delve enough into the brutality and the viciousness that he was. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that aspect of it. They kind of let him off a little light.
Maybe it was made by one of those weird girls that just love murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah, I watched.
That's a weird thing for me.
what's that?
Just girls that are very attracted, or guys that
To
are very
murderers?
attractive to people that have murdered or
Yeah.
murdered repeatedly.
Yeah, I don't get it personally, but
No, it's like, oh yeah, it would be, sticking a finger in, but also might murder me. I don't think I'll be able to.
I don't think. Yeah,
I don't handle well under that situation. Under pressure. Just it's like a snail's eye. If you get too close to it, it'll just run away.
a snail's eye.
Yeah, like one of the. They have the little things that pop out, and if you put your
I thought you were talking. I thought this was like some sort of British slang
Yeah,
for
so did
vagina.
no, I'm talking like
Just looking in the snail's eye, and I'm like, dude, you're getting a little crude here.
like actual snails. If you get too close to their weird eye stalks,
Yeah, they're like antennae
yeah,
looking
they
things.
float back into their heads. It's a
Interesting.
very,
They're
very,
hiding.
very good thing to have as a species, I think. Although they are very slow, so they are disadvantaged there.
I can do it too, Patrick. Look,
Tranny tricked. Tranny tricked. All right, Kyle.
it's called blinking.
Kyle, let's get back to what we've been watching because this is what
All right. Yeah.
snails.
So I watched Jinx. I watched Ted Bundy tapes. I was kind of like on a serial killer trip, so I listened to the Jeffrey Dahmer case
another
files, which
freaky
it
thing.
was like he's
Oh,
a fucked up dude.
Yeah, did you?
Don't care to know
I'm
much
gonna try
more
that
about
again,
him.
but with actual words, right?
Yep.
So they only actually found him because he got into an altercation with someone on a bus, I think. So he like ended up assaulting someone on a bus.
Yeah, I don't.
So the police turn. So
see
this
that.
fucking, one of this typical cop from the fucking Simpsons rolls up to his door, ends up like going in and finds a head in the freezer and multiple bodies that have been.
Yeah.
It's fucked,
The
man.
one thing they talked about in there was like he had, I think it was
Like the
like
shrine?
a neighbor had came to his house and was like, Jesus Christ, what's that smell?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, it's just I got rotting meat in my freezer. It died on me, or his landlord or something. That was like the one part that I was like, man, like, and then they got out of there quick because they didn't like the smell, but like,
Well,
that
there's
was a close
been-
fucking call.
It's like things like that are like so sketchy because you don't know whether to call it in or not because it could just be rotting meat. Like you hear
man.
children screaming
you
next
wouldn't-
door.
yeah.
Like recently there's a car that's beat to shit parked in our parking lot that's literally just been abandoned there for the past week.
Oh really?
And I like messaged the landlord about it today and I was like, I think this car might have been stolen and dumped off here. You should maybe like let the cops know to look into it. Maybe it was. Maybe there's somebody that's been missing that like, I don't know. Or it could just be something as simple as like somebody's battery died and they just left it parked like an asshole, blocking off half the parking lot for the past week.
Is that little purple one out there?
Yeah, with like the missing windows and shit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I finally was just like, it's been a week. I gotta let somebody know.
Been a while.
Since I got. How he just like goes screamo.
He does give it some in the chorus.
Yeah. Well, no, like that video I sent you where he like literally goes full on screamo and they're playing an acoustic set, and he starts like
And the rest
metal
of the
growling.
band's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking good. But yeah, is that all you watched? Have you been listening to any more podcasts or anything like that too?
Mostly just Dak Shepard.
You've really
Armchair
grown on
Expert.
that one, hey?
Yeah, there's some interesting people on there. One other documentary that I watched that I don't know how you guys would find it to watch it, but I think it is worth a watch. It's called
Do you
The
want to say
Band Boy
watch one more
Con.
time?
What?
He said watch about 100 times in that sentence, I swear.
Watch out.
Sorry.
Watch
Continue.
yourself. Watch yourself. All right, Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, Band Boy Con.
Boy band con?
Boy band con. Band Boy con. Yeah,
Um,
that one.
Is it boy band con or
Sure.
band boy con?
Boy band. It makes more sense being boy band.
Okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that one? You said it's a YouTube Red show.
I don't know Red, but YouTube Premium, if that's a thing.
Yeah, so I think that's YouTube Red. Is
could
it
be.
made for YouTube?
I think it might be an exclusive on there. It's just that's where we found that we could watch it, so we watched it on there. It was so the dude's name was Lou Pearlman, I
Okay.
believe, and he was a millionaire that was flying the new kids on the block in one of his quote private planes, and it was like, man, how do these fucking kids afford to catch a private plane to their concert? And then their manager was like, oh, they're huge, like they're a boy band, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I could do that. So he's the guy who, in a sense, created the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and
So he was like
O-Town
a manager or
just the creator. He considered himself like a fifth, sixth member of all these bands.
Lou Pearlman did.
Yep.
was he like
Big fat old guy
consider it-
looking at him. That's him.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. It's
Could you
an
imagine him up on
interesting
stage
story.
with Justin Timberlake like fucking busting a move?
No, he was a silent member.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, he made these bands. Long story short,
He looks like he ate the sixth member
He
of those
does,
bands,
yeah.
right?
I- Fuck
I do think you guys would both like the documentary, so I would like you to watch it. But long story short, it's about how in the early years of these bands he basically robbed them of a lot of money.
Yeah, no doubt. He's dead. I think.
He died. I think it was a brain aneurysm or something like that while he was in jail.
There's a lot of that in prison, isn't there? Because that
Yeah.
weird guy from the Madeline McCann documentary died
Yeah.
of that as well.
I think that's what it was, but I know he did. Maybe it was a heart attack.
I wonder if they have like a little tool, like a special shiv that makes
Well,
it look
it's
like
it's
a
like
hemorrhage.
yeah, all you need is like the wrong blood clot in the wrong spot,
Yeah.
right? So if people are just getting like a weird pain in their leg and they don't get it checked out, they could possibly die from it because it could be a clot that goes to your brain.
It's trippy.
That's
man.
how like a lot of people died back in the old days. But yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I think you guys should watch it. I would like to talk about it. I was going to talk about
it's
it.
called
on the
Boy
next
Band
Con.
Con. Okay, I'll write it down and I'll add it to the list. There's so much to watch. I just ordered 7 seasons of Tales from the Crypt. So I'm going to be going through that now.
But you don't have to watch that.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, is that all you've watched then?
I'm sure there's more, but that's
the big
like
stuff
the
you wanted
big
to
stuff,
talk about.
yeah.
I've been continuing the What We Do in the Shadows TV series. I feel like you guys should watch that movie. But episode 3 came out and I watched it and I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that a Jamaican Canadian werewolf from Saskatoon was in the episode.
I think you said that.
It was.
Oh no, I read that online.
Yeah, I wrote it on the Instagram, but yeah, it was a pretty funny episode. The one guy, the premise of this episode, or one of the premises, is one of the guy. He's an old vampire, and his pastime and hobby is to trim bushes to look like different vulvas from women that he's conquested. And he starts to smell werewolf urine on the bushes. So the werewolves and the vampires getting a little brawl.
Is this an
over that.
animated series?
No, it's live action, and it's really funny.
Where do
so
you
far.
watch this?
I paid for it because I knew I would like it. I love the movie so much. You can watch it pretty much anywhere that streams anything. It's probably like fairly cheap to rent. The episode's probably like $2, but I'm sure you could find it if you looked hard enough wherever you want to look. But
No doubt.
Right on.
I've also been continuing Tales from the Dark Side. I'd say in the past 2 weeks, I've probably watched 60 episodes of that show.
Jesus.
Jeez, man. That's a couple.
So, yeah, I'm ripping through that. I'm on the last season of that. I'm going to be posting my top 8 for season 2 and season 3 in the next week or two here on the Instagram. So if you're interested in that show, go check that out. Maybe it'll give you something to watch. And then I'll be going through Tales from the Crypt when that shows up. So I'm going to be going through that. I was thinking maybe eventually down the line I could pick they're probably like half-hour episodes, maybe like 4 episodes out of the complete run when I finish them to see if you guys maybe want to check them out and talk about that and see if they hold up or what you guys think. There's also a movie that I have that's really good. So we could do like a Tales from the Crypt week or something maybe. But have you guys seen Split before?
Yeah, man. Great movie.
Which one's that?
It's got James McAvoy. He's got a split personalities. He kidnaps 3 girls.
I'm not good with names to faces of actors.
Professor Xavier, the young Professor Xavier from the newer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he kidnaps 3 girls.
Don't think I've seen
And
it.
he has split personalities. It was like one of my favorite movies the year that it came out, I believe 2 or 3 years ago, 2016 maybe. I rewatched that because Melissa hadn't seen it, so we watched that. Still holds up, still really good. But Glass recently came out, which is a sequel to that movie.
Thought it was garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I just didn't. I don't know. I thought James McAvoy was easily the best part of the movie.
I was gonna say, I think he, with his acting chops, like I honestly think after watching those 2 movies this past week, I genuinely feel like he's probably one of the greatest actors alive.
Yeah, man, he's
With just
incredible.
how quick he can
But, like,
change and play so many different things.
Did you not notice how just no one else in that movie held up to his standard?
Your basement changed.
Bruce Willis had about 4 lines.
Well, Bruce Willis, his character in that movie was relying off of his character in Unbreakable. Is it Unbreakable? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've seen
Oh,
that.
Kimmy Schmidt?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yes. Bruce Willis was in a bunker with, which is similar plot line to Split.
That's actually a good show.
Yeah, it's all right.
Some funny parts in it.
But yeah, no, Glass, I was actually pleasantly surprised with that movie because I heard lots of bad things about it. But yeah, I'm confident James McAvoy is probably one of my favorite actors now after that.
He's insane.
We watched Doctor Strange because Endgame is coming out next week.
Ugh.
So we're getting caught up. I got to see Miss Marvel still, which I'll probably do next week. And then I'll go see Endgame next Sunday. So I'll probably come back and give my thoughts on that. I'm sure it'll be amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Found out there's a Halo TV series coming out, which is cool.
And it's a bit virgin-y. You know what I mean? Like that, it smells wrong when you think of a Halo TV series. You know what I mean?
To me, it just smells like Doritos.
Like I can just feel neck
And
beard.
Mountain Dew.
Just surrounded by neck beard. It's
have
fucking
you-
clones. I told you.
Hey, you there. You guys have both seen Hereditary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Is it good?
Kenny fucking hates
Patrick, what would you rate it out of 5?
it. I'd give
Hereditary.
it a 4.
I would give it a 0.5.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was told that I should watch it.
I think you'll probably like it.
Is it actually like scary? Like when it comes to scary movies, like I have to this
There's
day,
one cool scene in the movie.
to this day I have not been genuinely scared that I can remember of a movie.
A lot of people say that movie did it for them. I think a lot of people are confusing fear for just being uncomfortable.
Jumps. Yeah. What bothers me, the only thing that kind of like scares me about movies is like when there's jump things. or
There's a
whatever,
few
but
jump
they don't
scares.
stick
Did you
with
think
me.
Pet Sematary was scarier?
No. I don't know. It's tough.
That's
It's
a bad
t-
sign.
it's tough for me.
I think.
Yeah.
I think in the next little while, for picks, we should
Honestly,
pick some
if
movies.
you were to pick Hereditary, I would go through it again. I would watch
Yeah,
it again.
I'd watch it
Okay,
again.
so I think what we're gonna do, your Kenny, your pick is next, right?
Yeah.
And then it's my
we're
pick.
doing Midnight Meat Train, and then it's my pick.
Okay. After your pick, I think I'm gonna pick Hereditary. And
If Patrick picks The Witch, I'm gonna kill myself.
what I want.
You
what
didn't
I,
like The Witch either.
Okay, here's my idea.
The Witch, Mother, Hereditary, and Killing of a Sacred Deer are the 4 worst films I've seen in the past 10 years.
I want you both to think of a movie that you think will scare me, and that's what I want you guys to pick, and then we'll watch them. And I want to feel what it's like to watch a scary movie. Because my wife won't watch scary
I don't
movies,
know.
so I don't get to watch
Conjuring
scary
movies are probably the only ones I can really think of that might do it. Sinister. I think you and me watched Sinister though, didn't we? I brought it to your house when you guys lived in your old house. We watched Trick or Treat together.
Yeah.
And then I think I brought Sinister, but I don't
know.
remember
I
if
don't
we
think we
watched
watched
it.
it.
Because we watched a few movies that day.
As Above, So Below.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, that movie freaks me out.
See, my only issue with this too is I want to kind of branch out a little bit too. I don't want this to become a horror movie podcast.
No.
So I'm going to
this
be
is just-
throwing some
This
things.
is just like the next like couple weeks. I want to try the horror movies out.
yeah. Well, like,
Well,
see,
I mean, that could be a fun game. We do.
You guys try and fucking scare me.
We do like you choose a horror film one week, I'll choose one the following week, and then we'll see which one scared him more, and the winner
Yeah.
gets $5.
not from me.
No, we'll put it in a pool.
I don't know about that, man. We take turns paying for meals every week. As
Yeah, well,
it
we could
is.
put that in like the beer fund or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll think
Beer
about
fund
that.
is also now on Kickstarter.
I'll see the issue with the movies that I think might scare him are ones that you have to see the first one for, like Insidious 2.
Okay, so
Or
if
Conjuring,
you think there's a
or-
movie that's gonna scare me, tell me the first one. I'll watch it on my own, and then I can watch the second one.
See,
If you
I've
think
always
that's
thought
gonna
that-
push you over the edge to beat Patrick, you go ahead.
Horror movies
I haven't been
very
scared in a long
rarely
time.
ever need sequels. I think the sequels to most horror movies are terrible.
Evil Dead,
Most, I said most.
Alien,
I've never seen the sequel. Like the
Aliens.
sequel.
You haven't seen Aliens?
No.
I've only seen Alien
All
vs
right.
Predator.
Well, let's Friday the 13th.
Nope. I don't like slasher movies. I think they're garbage.
Nightmare on Elm Street, which is the second Nightmare on Elm Street, is like widely known as one of the most homoerotic films ever made. But
Could also be a lot of my home videos.
yeah,
That was a crude joke. Sorry.
Jake, 5 stars.
So let's say this: you guys have a couple weeks here because we have a couple movies in line.
Yeah.
you guys got a couple weeks to think of what your movie that's going to terrify me is.
I don't want to, like, the thing is I don't want to pick a movie to scare you right now. I want to pick one that I feel like would be ridiculous for us to watch, because I just got hard ticket to Hawaii today, and it's got like Miami Connection vibes to it, and I'm really excited to find another movie that hit me the way that movie did, that none of us have seen, because there's like no better feeling than all of us kind of like being in like what the fuck shock the entire time.
Yeah.
Man, unless
But scary movies, man, like honestly, a lot of them are just, I don't know. It's tough for me.
You see, I love horror movies, but I don't like, I guess, the more conventional ones where there's like some jump scares. I like stuff like The Witch and Hereditary, because it's just fucking
boring.
It's that feeling
Exhausting.
of
It
when
lets you
you
nap.
are like genuinely uncomfortable. There's nothing worse than that.
But I see a lot of people say that. I don't feel that at all when I watch those movies. Like it's the
That's
music
fair,
and stuff.
But that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of felt that feeling before in weird places.
See, those movies, the vibe that I feel like I get from those movies that I think other people are confusing with fear is the same feeling people get when they watch like the Eric Andre show or the Tim and Eric show. It's that whole, what the fuck am I watching and why is this happening this way? That's like those movies to me in a nutshell. It's not uncomfortable per se. It's just confusion and like nonsensical to me.
I understood the movies.
No, I understood them too, but I don't know. We'll talk about it when we revisit.
maybe you've
Hereditary.
maybe you've never had a movie that scared you either.
Yeah, the one thing that I liked about it is that it never pointed out when something scary was happening.
Yeah, it did. Hereditary?
I don't think it not in the conventional
Witch?
way where there's like a loud bit of music all of a sudden when there's a jump scare.
Well, if you guys
know,
don't want
man.
to watch,
I feel like we need to
scary
rewatch
movies,
that to figure that out. But
If you guys don't want to watch scary movies right now, we can visit it back in like.
well, like I'm
fucking
open to
Halloween
doing
time.
it. No, I'm open to doing it. I just feel like I should change it up a little bit.
When was the last time we watched a horror movie though?
Well, the past like 3 weeks, basically.
No, it was
So it'll be Sleepaway Camp. Last week's was kind of a horror movie because of
Last
the
week's
fucking
was
weird
shit.
stuff. This week we're watching Shaun of the Dead. Next week we're watching Midnight Meat Train. So that's kind of 4 horror movies in a row. And then we're jumping back into, let's say we do Hereditary or As
Right.
Above, So Below. Like I'm
Let's
fine
do-
with it, but I don't want to get looped into a genre thing. I want to kind
But
of.
we did
switch it up a
ninja
bit.
movies for about a month.
Right, but we also launched as a ninja movie thing.
Okay, let's do this then. We'll take a round of picks of whatever you want, comedy, whatever, and then we'll re-talk about going back and trying this, because I'm just saying, you guys are going to be only people that I'm going to be able to watch a scary movie with, and I want to see what you guys suggest to me. Show me something that can fucking scare me.
I also don't want to put limitations on what we watch. So if you guys want to watch horror movies, we can do that. I have no issues with that. Like the majority of my collection is horror movies. It's just that I know that there are people out there that do really good horror movie podcasts, and I don't want to like be lumped in with those podcasts. I want to like differentiate us a little bit from that, so that we're not just another horror movie podcast. We're just like a movie podcast in general, right?
I get that.
But yeah, no, I have no issues doing horror movies. But if we go that route, we should do ones that we think will scare people, or ones that we haven't seen that we think people should see. And then after, we should try and find the most batshit crazy horror movies we can find and show each other those.
Yeah, man. I'm game for that.
Like Sleepaway Camp worthy. Because those are my horror movies. Those are the kinds that I want to visit.
That wasn't scary at all.
Right, but it's fucking crazy. I want to watch how did this get made type movies.
Yeah, I get that. That's
But
fair.
yeah. We should go watch some trailers real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about trailers after we watch the movie as well. And then we'll hopefully have some sort of movies picked out. Next week, for sure, we're doing Midnight Meat Train. So if you don't want to stick around for Shaun of the Dead, You could probably tune out now or wait out for movie trailers, but otherwise, I think we'll be back after watching Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
All right. We are back. We just finished watching Shaun of the Dead. Before we talk about that, we will talk about some trailers that we watched. This is a new thing that I want to try to do every week, just so we can stay hip to what's coming out. I think.
You just say you stay hip?
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
A little
Tragic,
bit of my
man. That's tragic.
virginity just grew back.
Okay, so we watched 5 trailers, 4 for movies and 1 for a TV show, and we'll just bring them up and get your guys' opinions on them. So
Fucking cold down here, you guys.
the first one we watched was the Addams Family animated movie. Are you guys familiar with the Addams Family?
Yes.
Da-da-da-dun.
Are you guys fans of the Addams Family at all? Or-
No.
I was.
You don't? You're not a fan at all?
Could not care less.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Kyle?
British bloke.
You don't?
Do
Do you like the Addams Family, Kyle?
I did.
How are you feeling about this movie trailer then?
It looks like if I had a kid, I'd show it to him.
Right.
It's not something you guys would go see now.
It reminds me
I
of
would never go to the movies for something like that.
what's that?
Hotel Transylvania.
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think the animation looks cool, and I think it's kind of like a nostalgia
Yeah,
thing.
but if you want cool animation, watch Shrek.
Watching
If that's all you're in it for, go and watch Shrek. It's on Netflix. It's basically free.
watching the trailer, the little like one-liners and stuff, and it do remind me a lot of the TV show though.
Yeah, the TV
Like
show
they did-
was the one that we kind of grew up with, even though like the movies and stuff were bigger. Not like the old TV show though. What are you doing? Are you cracking your knuckles?
And I got a well itchy toe.
Oh, you know what's good for itching toes?
But you
Oh,
fucking
Kyle pulls out his knife.
away.
It's good. It's good. Get a nice little poke.
The second trailer I showed you guys was for the Lion King movie that's coming out.
Yeah, man. Did not need to be remade.
You're not interested in seeing that?
Why did it need to be remade?
I don't know. It's like this new Disney trend where they're making all the cartoons live action.
They
like
can
next
do it
is
better
Aladdin.
than everyone.
They got Aladdin coming. They're doing Mulan is coming too. The Jungle Book was really good.
When you run out of ideas, what else do you do, right?
Yeah. Stop remaking stuff. Make different things.
Yeah, I mean,
Why
I
is
don't know.
everyone turning into EA?
Well, so I mean, the argument there is Lion King was just Hamlet remade and retold for kids, right?
Okay, so fucking make Hamlet.
But they've done that a million times, so now they're gonna do Lion King.
I haven't seen a modern day Hamlet.
Okay, Patrick, did you like Lion King?
Can't remember it, but I remember probably enjoying it as a child. Yes.
Okay. Why wouldn't you enjoy this then?
Because I don't want to go and watch Lion King.
It's just,
It's a film that's most likely going to make you cry at some point,
right?
just because the animation's quite cute.
Pussy.
Whereas if that was The Wild, most of the movie you'd be watching the lion absolutely battering some small woodland animals, tearing them to pieces. That I'd probably watch. If they'd filmed a genuine lion and called it Simba, I'd be like, fuck me, Simba's brutal.
Or like follow those hyenas around for a
Yeah,
day.
man, you know. If there was a genuine lion versus hyena fight, I'd probably tune in.
Man, I didn't realize you were such a pessimist. There's just no heart for the Lion King over there.
Shit, man,
Yeah.
you got in a bad mood in like 10 minutes. You were just fucking feeling it, eating the pizza, loving life, and all of a sudden you're just like, fucking Lion King, can't even handle it.
Wow, what was the accent at the
There's
back
no
of that?
accent.
There was a bit. There was a twing. There was a twing. Yeah, no, I don't know. Just seems like a bit of a cash grab.
All right. Well, Kyle, what about you? Because I know we loved The Lion King growing up.
I'll throw my cash at it. I'll
Yeah.
watch that.
That's one way to put it. I was excited to see it with the first teaser trailer, but watching the second trailer, it doesn't look like they changed or did enough for me to like want to go out opening night. But I'll probably see it if it's on Netflix.
It's just Pet Cemetery again, isn't it?
Well, we went and paid for the Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, shit,
so-
that was a mistake, right? Actually, I think I still owe you money.
Yeah,
for
me
that.
too.
So the third trailer we watched was the new Star Wars one for Rise of the Skywalker. It's another trailer Patrick didn't like.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan of Star Wars. My granddad always thought I was a fan of Star Wars because he'd put them on when I was around his house.
I remember you telling me this.
But I would always fall asleep halfway through.
Right.
Because it was just so fucking boring. And he'd walk in and he'd turn the TV down and I'd be like, whoa. I was watching that. And he'd walk in and I'd be passed out again.
They're definitely like dense movies for kids.
For
Because when I was a
dense
kid,
people.
we couldn't get
I never
through.
watched them growing up. Couldn't do it.
No.
And my parents never liked them. So.
That was like the initiation for neckbeards, I think, Star Wars.
I don't know. It's tough because like I used to like not have any interest in Star Wars at all. But when Force Awakens came out, I went through and I rewatched a lot of them for the first time. And it clicked with me finally, like after all these years. Like I just never clicked with me before. It was like I was like you, where I would literally just fall asleep when it's on. And then after that, it just clicked, and like I've been kind of obsessed with it ever since.
Fair.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's the neck beard I'm growing.
No, I mean, I feel like Star Wars has probably had the same effect that Game of Thrones has had on some people.
Yeah,
It's this,
Game
like,
of Thrones is one I can't get into yet either.
Entirely new universe for people to be interested in. You know,
Yeah.
I get the appeal. It's just something that's never. appealed
There's
to me.
lots of parts that I like of it. I do find the storyline and the amount of characters confusing sometimes, though.
Yeah,
But
how
I-
do you
I do
feel
like it,
about the
though.
newer Star Wars, Kyle?
I mean, I feel like they're running out of story again. But the guys at work were talking, and they said the talks of Star Wars now is after this movie, they've announced they're taking a big break to re-franchise it, basically.
So initially, the guy Ryan Johnson who did Looper, if you've seen that movie,
Yeah, I like Looper. I think it's a great movie.
he did the last Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, and that's been the most hated of the new movies so far. For me, it's because of certain characters, like the addition of that Rose character. I felt was like the most pointless addition to a
Is
fucking.
that like the one with the binocular?
No, Rose is the Asian girl, the chubby Asian girl who takes Finn to a casino planet, and then Finn does a really grand, awesome gesture. It would have been like a noble death for his character, and then she like rams him out of the way with the pod, and is just like, "No, nobody dies." And it's
I don't
like
remember this
they're
at
about
all.
to destroy an entire planet. This guy was going to stop it, and you were just like, nobody dies. But it's like everybody in the planet's going to die now. Good job. I don't know. It's just a stupid fucking character. But yeah, anyways, a lot of people weren't happy with The Last Jedi, so J.J. Abrams is doing this one again. So he's trying to get the story back on track from what he had written originally, because the other guy made changes. So they're not retconning, but they're kind of rewriting the story. They're basically turning a left turn from everything that happened and rewriting some of the stuff that was revealed in the last one. And then after that, originally Ryan Johnson was supposed to do his own trilogy with the kids in the last Star Wars movie. There was kids who were revealed to have Force powers, and he was going to do a trilogy, but a lot of people were so upset with The Last Jedi. I don't know if Disney's going to let him do it now because, it didn't go very well. But yeah, I'm excited for Star Wars. I'm always going to be excited for it.
I'll
from now
always
on.
go watch them. But
But yeah, I thought the trailer, there's parts that looked cool, and then the rest of it was just kind of there. So
I feel like there wasn't a whole lot that stood out to me in it.
I don't really want to watch any more than just this one, though, because I don't want anything spoiled for me like Pet Sematary did, trailer-wise.
Yeah, it was the whole movie.
Like, for the most part, I try to avoid trailers for movies that I'm really interested in the story for. But movies like La Llorona and stuff like that, I'll watch the trailer just because I want to see if it's, like, worth my time. Okay, the fourth trailer was for a TV series that Amazon is doing called The Boys. I know you don't like superheroes, Patrick, but what did you think of that one?
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It looks like it could be funny.
Well, yeah, it wasn't about superheroes as such. It was about superheroes that basically had no crime left to fight, so they were just dicking about.
Right.
Or like
one guy
when you
has to
have
take
all the
control of the
power, you can do
situation.
whatever you want, right? So
Yeah.
they're just dicking around,
Yeah,
fucking shit up, being fucking boys on a Saturday.
That's it.
And it was from the creators of Preacher and the creators of Supernatural,
Yeah,
which is like
it's
kind
probably
of,
just a lot of like the directing from Supernatural, I think, because when it said that, I was trying to watch anything that looked like Supernatural, and the only thing that looked like it to me was just kind of like the costume.
Well, I
kind
feel
of
like
stuff.
it's definitely like two people probably working together, and
Yeah.
there's definite Preacher vibes in there. It's like a dark comedy. I got the vibes for a dark, gory comedy.
Yep.
So I'm intrigued to watch that. I have Amazon Prime, so I'll give that a watch. I don't know if you guys are
Oh, yeah.
interested in that at all.
No
But,
doubt.
and then the last trailer is for Child's Play, the remake. How do you guys feel about the Child's Play movies?
I've never seen them.
Any of them?
Me either.
Well, one I think I've seen where he cut someone's ankles from under a bed.
I've seen that
was
part too, but
that was both Pet Cemeteries.
Yeah, it was in Child's Play as well. though.
Yeah.
I'm certain.
The first and second Child's Plays are really good.
Yeah, man.
Third one on is kind of rough, depending who you ask. But yeah, this remake, I don't know. Since you guys aren't fans of the source material, this probably doesn't get your needle moving. Hey,
the only thing that looked cool to me is when they showed like Chucky lift up his knife in the trailer. It reminded me, like, it actually did look like the old movies, like from parts I've seen.
yeah.
You know,
What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, it's a doll with a knife, isn't it?
You wouldn't want to do, like, maybe we do what we did for Pet Cemetery, where we watch the original and go see this one?
Don't know if I could do both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well, I thought I'd
yeah,
throw that out
the
there.
Pet Cemetery one was hard.
that was
Honestly,
really fucking difficult. Fuck, that movie was garbage.
yeah.
I feel like
Good
the original
God.
Child's Play is definitely a better movie.
Oh,
Sorry
yeah,
for
no doubt,
suggesting
sure.
that, guys.
That's okay.
It's all good. It was worth doing just to
It was
see
cool,
that.
but
I feel like we proved that remakes are mostly terrible.
not worth it.
There's some like Texas Chainsaw and Evil Dead and stuff that I still think are amazing. But yeah, that's it for the trailers that we watched this week. Hopefully we'll have a few to watch and talk about next week. But for now, I'm going to lay out our movie watching for the next little while because I came up with an idea that we're going to roll with, I think, just so people know our movie schedule before we talk about Shaun of the Dead, just in case
Bossy-
people
bossy
don't want to
pants.
listen to this. So the plan is next week we are doing Midnight Meat Train. After that, we will do this new movie that I got. It's an Andy Sedaris film.
This is your pick?
Hard Ticket to Hawaii is this movie. It's comparable to Miami Connection and The Room. It's supposed to be just a batshit crazy movie. They just re-released it on Blu-ray, and I picked it up. It just came out yesterday.
For paradise.
So I want to watch this. I've never seen it. I figured it'd be a fun movie just to watch, drink some beers, and just get a couple laughs out of and discuss it like we did with Miami Connection. And then after that, we will dive into the horror movie thing that we were talking about earlier. But I was thinking the way to do it is we should start it off with Kyle's pick of Hereditary. Okay. And then it'll go towards Patrick again. And then it'll go back to my pick. And then after that, we'll go back. Because that way we can fit something in between to give us a little bit of a breather from all these heavier movies.
Sounds good. Game for that.
If that works for you boys.
I was zoned out there, but yeah, sure.
So yeah, next week will be Midnight Meat Train. Then we'll have Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And then Hereditary. So that gives you guys a few weeks to find those movies and watch them before we talk about them. But now we will finally get to the movie of the night. Patrick's pick,
Yeah, man.
Shaun of the Dead. Or as Patrick likes to say, Shaun.
Shaun?
Shaun.
I don't think I've ever said that. I think
Shaun.
it's Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun.
Shaun?
Shaun.
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 Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun.
Dead.
Shaun.
All right. Say dead in your voice,
Dead.
and I'll say dead.
Dead.
Yeah, there's no difference between the accents. So why did you say did?
It's Shaun.
Shaun of the
Shaun
Dead.
of the Dead.
I don't understand how you don't hear what I'm saying.
No, we hear you.
And then you just put this ridiculous
No, I do. But my issue is I
German
slip.
/ Australian slang.
No,
around
that's
it.
what it is. Is it's Australian because I've been around way more Australians than I have Brits.
Well, sucks to be you.
Well, not all of you guys were wanting to hop on a plane to get out here, but now that Brexit's a thing, maybe I'll meet more of you guys. So.
Maybe.
Did you have a summary for this movie?
I did not. No, I was too busy enjoying it to write one, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm expecting one for Midnight Meat Train,
Oh, yes.
a movie that I'm assuming Kyle hasn't seen either. You said you have
no
seen it?
fucking
have,
clue what
yes.
it is.
Perfect.
Have you seen it?
No. I know about it, though. I know all about it because I listen to, there's a podcast. If you guys are interested in horror movies, go follow Eerie International or subscribe to them, listen to them.
Midnight Meat Train is not a horror movie.
It is from what I've heard. But
By no stretch is it a scary film.
we'll talk about. I think we're talking about. You're probably thinking about a porno. I think we're talking about a horror movie here, Patrick. Speaking of which, I knew a girl in high school who had that nickname. So,
Nice.
You're gonna cut that, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
so no joke summary, but the budget for Shaun of the Dead was 4 million British sterling silver pounds.
That's only about $8 million.
4 million. It grossed 14 million in US and Canada. That's in pounds as well, I believe. And then 30 million worldwide. So it made quite a huge return.
Not bad.
IMDb gave it a 7.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is at 93%. Metacritic has 76, and 93% of Google users liked this. So probably one of the highest scoring movies we've watched in a really long time. The question is, how did Kyle feel about it?
Let me just
do you-
review our rating system here.
Do you regret watching this movie, Kyle? Let's start off with that.
Not at all.
Okay, so then Patrick, let's jump to you first while he's reviewing the list. Which Kyle, can you send that to me so I have it? Yeah, how do you feel about it? You obviously don't regret
All right,
watching it.
so I'll start low and read them to you, and then you pick what you want.
Oh, I already know
So-
what I'm going to pick.
Oh, he's
right.
gonna say 5.
Oh, yeah.
3, thought it was a decent movie. 3.5, would recommend to others. 4, would rewatch and maybe buy. 4.5, going to buy, want to own. And 5, perfect movie, could watch once a year.
5.
Kenny?
I'd give it about 4.5, 5-ish. It's tough because I want to say I'd watch it every year, and I do watch it every year. But every time I watch it every year, I'm like, maybe I could skip a year, just because it feels so fresh every time I watch it.
We should remove could watch every year because no one could really watch a movie every year.
That's not true. There's movies out there that I definitely watch every year.
Really, like religiously, you'll watch a certain movie every year.
Yeah, there's probably movies.
Which one?
Besides Halloween, on Halloween.
Yeah, like Joe Dirt.
Every year?
I've probably watched it every year since I was.
Are we
kid.
talking like every
He gets
year?
a new friend every year, so he has to show them.
You
the
fucking
movie.
better not.
No, but there's definitely like movies that I do.
When
and
did you
could
guys
watch
meet?
every year?
Coming up right.
But yeah,
Getting a
I
new
don't know. I
co-host.
think Shaun of the Dead is like a movie that, let's say, not that you do watch, but you could watch every year. I think
yeah.
is what it says.
Well, there's always that time of year where you're feeling a bit rough. Just like either mentally or physically. You know?
I feel like Shaun of the Dead is like the perfect hangover movie.
Yeah, with like some greasy food.
See, the issue with this, I feel like this movie, I've seen so many times, it's at a 4.5 for me just because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
I didn't like it the first time I watched it. Believe it or not.
How old were you though?
19?
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know why I didn't like it. There was just something about it that I didn't like. But now I strongly sit on the fence of it being probably the best zombie movie ever made.
Yeah.
Just because it's got the perfect blend of like
Yeah,
everything.
It's impressive how well they go through all the different types of feeling.
There's a lot of references in this too. If you guys are looking for all the references in Shaun of the Dead, Vanity Fair posted a video last week on YouTube that they go through all of the references in Shaun of the Dead, which is kind of funny because it was literally last week. It was almost like they heard our episode and we're like, fuck, let's make this video.
Oh yeah,
That's the dream.
Vince Vaughn's doing.
Yeah.
Kyle, let's talk about your feelings on this movie, though, since mine and Patrick's are laid out here.
Well, I don't really buy movies ever, just because I don't collect movies.
Right, but if you were out and about and you saw it on sale for like $5,
$5 is high.
I probably wouldn't buy it.
$5 is high.
Yeah, man, I don't like shit's expensive nowadays. You don't just throw away $5. If I was at a garage sale and I saw this for $1, like I'm saying it's a good movie, okay? Yeah, Kenny.
I paid $15 for our ticket to Hawaii for the podcast.
Yeah, but you right. See, the difference between me, you, and Kenny is you have a shelf full of DVDs.
Me, you, and Kenny? You mean you and me and Kenny?
No, we're a blob.
Yeah,
the
we're
same fucking
together.
person. So, do you have a shelf full of DVDs?
My shelf of DVDs I brought over here for in the bucket.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if me and Kyle were to go out to a shop and we saw Shaun of the Dead and we bought it, it would be the only DVD we owned.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas you could go out and buy a movie because it's like, fucking yes, another decent movie for the collection.
I guess so.
You know?
Yeah, that's the difference. But for what I'd give it a rating, I did really enjoy it. I'd give it a 4.2 because I wouldn't go to 4.5 because I wouldn't buy it.
How do you feel about this movie after watching Doghouse too?
This is way fucking better than
Yeah,
Doghouse.
it is.
Isn't that pretty crazy? How like they're very similar in tone with like the humor and
they
stuff.
Are so,
but
it's easier to grasp,
Yeah.
and that it's done far better because you like the characters.
Yeah, the characters were great.
Not
I
all of them.
like
No.
I like the editing in this one a lot.
Yeah, they do that in the entire trilogy all the way through. Yeah,
like
it's
lots of just little quick snips
Yeah,
in there.
it's
that
the
are
exact
really
same
well
style.
done.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm like pretty confident. I don't know how you're gonna feel about Hot Fuzz because I personally haven't seen it all the way through. But at World's End, I'm pretty confident you're gonna somehow like more than Shaun of the Dead.
Hot Fuzz is probably, between me and a few other people I know, is one of the most quotable movies.
Isn't Hot Fuzz like a cop movie though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So it's
part
not.
of the-
It's how is it a trilogy?
So it's
to-
the same two main characters
Yeah.
and the same director, and they call it the what's it called? The
the Cornetto trilogy.
Cornetto trilogy because
Okay.
every single one
So
is
it's
like
not a
themed
zombie
after an
movie.
ice cream. No, so the second one is Hot Fuzz. It's a super graphic cop killer movie, and then the third one is about the end of the world. Yeah, that's all I want to tell you about it because there's like kind of a twist in it, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead. You liked it fairly decently.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of surprised you rated it that high because you've been giving it the low, like every movie, the lowest rating so far.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't know. It just
you still did, but I'm just saying like
I didn't find like there wasn't really very many boring parts and nothing
Yeah.
dragged out. And that's the things that make me not like a movie is when I like find it hard to watch
Yeah.
or the I don't get the humor because there's so much comedy and humor that I just don't get.
this is one of the few movies too where every time you watch it, you'll pick up more references.
Yeah,
And just little things like the more movies that you watch, you'll pick up more too. Like there's a lot of Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead references in this movie. Like there's that in I think it's Dawn of the Dead. They say they're coming to get you, Barbara, right? And then this one, he grabs the phone and he goes, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." It's just like little things like that they wrote into the script that if you know it, you're gonna pick up on it, and it's just gonna add a little bit more to the enjoyment.
I thought that was from another movie too
Could be.
because I watched like this car show
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just some.
I'm looking forward to
It's
how
from
this
Family
works.
Man.
Cars.
I watch this car show and they say like they bring cars back from the dead. They restore them, whatever. And that's like on their intro is like it's like a dude in a suit with glasses and a comb over, and it might be
Yeah, that is that movie.
Dawn of the Dead, and
Yeah.
he says like coming to get you.
Coming
Barb.
to get you, Bob.
Yeah,
bro.
that's from that. All right.
I thought you were talking about
I thought
Cars.
that looked way older.
It is
Ka-chow.
When did that movie come out?
like the 50s.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There was a remake recently, like the same year. this
Okay,
movie
that's
came
why
out.
I'm confused because I was like, I don't think I was like I know the
Yeah,
remake
that-
I've seen before.
That
like, parts
movie
of it.
is actually probably one of the more disturbing movies I watched when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. It's a classic, though.
It fucked me up a little bit and kind of got me hooked on zombie movies from then on.
Great. Well, now you've seen Shaun of the Dead, so it's never going to top that. Except maybe Train to Busan. Actually, Train to Busan is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, Patrick's face.
We should all-
He's
this
just
is-
looking at you. You fucking.
This is what
bloke.
we should do for the horror movies, actually. Instead of finding the scariest ones, we should revisit ones that one of us didn't like. Like, I didn't like Hereditary.
I don't want to do that. I want to be scared, Kenny. That's what I'm asking you. Fucking scare me. I don't want to watch your shitty movies.
Well, you're the one that picked Hereditary, so you're going to be watching a shitty movie anyways.
It's
didn't pick
not a shitty movie.
I was told it was good by quite a few people.
Yeah. There's one scene. But, okay, well, you're doing Hereditary. I already said I'm either going to do The Descent or Overlord, I think was the one that I picked. And then Patrick's going to think on his. You might choose The Descent. You also mentioned As Above, So Below.
Yeah, I'll have a think.
Yeah, but you better fucking think ahead of time this time, because up until like the day of recording, you were still thinking if you wanted to do Shaun of the Dead
It's
or whatever.
fine. It's fine. We still did a movie. Calm
Yeah,
your tits.
Patrick did a good pick. I liked it.
Yeah, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, so let's talk about some Shaun of the Dead here. Do you guys have your reviews? So we all like this movie fairly high, all ranging from 4 to 5, which is pretty phenomenal. Probably the highest rated movie we had so far. But now let's hear what other people thought of the movie. Let's start with Patrick, because I think I gave him the 1 out of 10.
Oh, shit. Yeah, the reviews. My bad. Hang on.
He just looks at his phone. He's checking it out, and then he puts it down.
Okay.
He just opens his phone. He's like, dude's got a nice dick. Puts it down. Oh, yeah, reviews.
This is from Jay is Watching from February 2019.
Sorry, what was that?
There's numbers, isn't there?
There's no numbers. There is no numbers there whatsoever. Put your dick back in your pants and let me read the review.
Jay is watching 11, just for listeners. Continue.
This is a fail movie. Too slow. Shaun needed processing time. Every time someone from his gang got bit. Guess the story writer and director added the so-called crying moments to stretch the movie duration to charges for sitting in the movie theater. 1 star.
Okay, so
0 is not allowed.
let's talk about that. Shaun needing time to process someone's like imminent demise. Wouldn't you be the same way in a fucking apocalypse if your like mom was like got bit by a zombie and was going to die?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I've seen too many zombie movies to know that you haven't got time to dick about.
Yeah, you gotta shoot him and move
No,
on.
she dead.
It wouldn't be like that in real life, but yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that scene with Philip was pretty genuine. I think that's one of the best scenes in this movie where it switches the humor off for a split moment and it kicks in on your heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I watch that scene gets a little bit more powerful for me.
Yeah, I saw a tear in your eye. You grabbed
And I feel, it's like changing my tampon while I was watching that scene.
I could do that for you. I charge a very small admin fee.
$5 is $5.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if you took those scenes out, this movie wouldn't have been as effective. Like if you didn't see his mom get bit and him being like, fuck, my mom's been bit. Or like, oh, Philip's bit. Or
I don't think it would have been any worse either, though.
I don't know. I feel like it takes away a little bit from the gravity of the bite, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it takes away some of the danger as such, but I don't know. It focuses very little on the danger itself. It's more about just the comedy, I guess.
And I don't feel like it took up that much time either. It
No,
was
it
literally
didn't.
like
It was super
just
super
a
snappy.
mention, and then it
Yeah.
went back. So I don't know. I feel like that's a kind of a bad reason to give it a 1 star, though. That's
Yeah, man. It's fucking stupid.
because 0 is not allowed to.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
That's probably one of the most boring people on the planet.
Buddy could have just not wrote a review too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no friends, and I watched this movie on my own.
Well,
I'm
maybe
gonna
you need
give it a
to.
1.
Maybe he needs
because-
to watch Joe Dirt once a year. He'll make more friends.
Maybe. Fucking people.
Kenny's messaging him, hey,
Gotta meet
seen
Joe
Joe
Dirt.
Dirt?
Hate.
I've got this Blu-ray.
you want to come over and watch this movie with me? Swear
so-
it won't be a 0.
Kyle, you got a 5 out of 10 review for us over
Oh
there.
yeah, coming in from Rebel Gen 15.
No, that was from the 15th of April.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
1
fucking-
5 of April.
The one
This
name.
podcast so
Why the
much.
fuck didn't you put a space there? You made me look like an idiot.
The one name in the whole process that doesn't have numbers, and this dude adds numbers to it.
Why does this section feel like it goes on for fucking days?
Yeah, so she gave it a 5 out of 10, and that was that. No, she says like it doesn't last. Shaun of the Dead has its moments. If you ever see the television series Spaced, who cares? There's some parodies.
Patrick's home country, who cares?
It's worth a trip to the cinema for the sake of seeing it. Also repeats it has a dozen laughs. However, I feel the film loses the appeal towards the last 40 minutes of the film. This is when it turns more horror and less comedy.
The last 40 minutes of that's half the film.
Yeah, no, and also there was a lot of fucking comedy still in it. Yeah, I don't even want to finish reading this. Probably mostly because I can't.
The last
Without you
40
guys making
minutes.
fun of me.
What the fuck is she talking
But yeah,
about?
she says if you need a laugh, I would recommend this film for its legit humor. Rated 5 out of 10. Rebel Gen.
I just want to point out that it says light humor, not legit humor. I did not know my brother was that illiterate that he thought
Where's this?
light.
Oh, I know. I was buying legit humor for a second. There.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things. I just like reading these reviews because it kind of shows the mindset some people are in when they write these. Like, for example, when we did the Pet Sematary one for the remake, we did it based off of our opinion of the original that we had just watched. The guy who rated it a 1 is just an idiot, but this person is writing it based off of their fandom for their TV show Spaced that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost were in, and I believe the director was a huge part of that show as well. So it's like somebody coming from there, coming to visit somebody else's work and just not clinging to it for whatever reason.
And
That
she
I
liked
kind of
the legit
understand.
humor, so
That I understand a little bit, but
Yeah, that was fair.
yeah, still kind of wrong though. But yeah, this movie, if
send me yours so I can make fun of you reading it.
you want it, I'll send you it. This one is from White Screen. It's from April 2004. It's a 10 out of 10. Don't miss this one. After seeing Dawn of the Dead and being a bit depressed with it and disappointed, had a feeling this would be the perfect antidote, and I was right. From the very first... Wow, this is written terribly. From the very first, this movie was hilarious. The character of Shaun was something everyone in the cinema identified with. He was a brilliant hero, rising to the challenge when he finally realized that zombies had in fact taken over, which took a while. Yeah, I think
That was hilarious. That like him walking past all these zombies. I was like, fucking so
Just had
funny.
0. It was so fucking hungover. Can you imagine being that wasted in a morning where you don't realize the world is ended?
It's just so quiet outside too. That was like
Sure,
the quietest zombie movie in the world too.
Sorry,
right?
mate. I don't have any change. I didn't even have enough for the fucking shop.
so. The last half of this review, I want to get your guys' opinion on this part in particular. This was more than a comedy. It was a sharply observed statement on how we live, or to be precise, don't live our lives today. It was a warning, in a way, to value what we have, or have the potential to achieve before it's too late. Or maybe I'm reading into it more than was intended and it was just an absolutely brilliant comedy. I'd say the latter. Yeah. I'd say you're reading too much into Shaun of the Dead.
That's a stretch. I mean, yeah, I get that. And someone could have pointed it out to them and they were like, yeah, that's what we were going for. But no, I don't think that's the intention.
I think that person had a few words in their vocabulary that they hadn't used for a while, so they thought they'd slam it in a review.
The dude starts the movie working at a dead-end job, and then after the apocalypse, we assume he's back there.
Yeah.
So I don't think many things have changed in Shaun's life.
No, he becomes a cop, doesn't he?
I don't know. And Hot Fuzz. He goes into witness protection, and he's in the next series of Fast and the Furious movies.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a lot of trivia for this movie as well. I think there's like 100 plus.
Jesus.
But we'll just read some. I think I got like 6 here for us to read real quick, and then we can talk about this movie, about what you guys liked and didn't like upon first time and reviewing. I don't care who goes first. Do you guys want to go first, or do you want me to? Kyle, you go first.
Oh, God, okay. Nick Frost, who is Ed, allegedly kept his genitals shaved throughout the production to create a genuine need to scratch that the character demanded. That is fucking funny.
Isn't that awesome?
That's incredible.
I read that and I was like, that's perfect for his character. Like, that totally makes sense. And that's method acting at its best, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Patrick, you go ahead with yours.
George A. Romero, creator of the film to which this movie pays homage and lampoons, was so impressed with Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright's work that they asked them to cameo in Land of the Dead in 2005 as zombies.
Have you seen Land of the Dead?
Yes.
What did you think of that one?
It was weird.
Yeah, that's the one with the trains, right? The zombie trains and shit. It's like post-apocalyptic, and they have like trains that they need to like reinforce to plow through a bunch of zombies and shit.
Is it? Oh, it is a train. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Right, it's a train. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that long time ago and thinking that it was like such a stupid, over-the-top, ridiculous premise for a zombie movie. But
yeah, man, I would just get a monster truck with like a big ass gas tank on it.
Yeah, until it blows up.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
In March 2011, the film was voted by BBC Radio 1 and BBC Radio 1 Extra listeners as their second favorite film of all time. The Shawshank Redemption came in first. So this movie in England is only second to Shawshank.
That's pretty decent.
Which is pretty good. Shawshank is an unreal movie.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one, Kyle?
Long time ago. I don't remember much of it.
It's a long movie, but it's really good. Yeah. Kyle, your last piece of trivia.
All right. When Shaun and the group are running out of Liz's flat, they are all carrying weapons of some kind, but only Shaun actually hits zombies. This was because the only cricket bat that Shaun was carrying was a padded fake. Oh, yeah. All the other items are real. And they wouldn't want to hurt any extra zombies.
Yeah, so like the bloody shovel, if you actually... Because I read that and I paid attention this time. You never see Nick Frost hit anybody with his shovel.
Yeah.
But it's got a shit ton of blood on it because of the one scene where they were like fake beating people.
They don't show anything.
But yeah, otherwise it's just Shaun hitting them with like a basically padded cricket bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, on to you, buddy.
Shaun tells Liz that he's going to take her to the restaurant that does all the fish. And when he opens the phone book, you can see that the restaurant is literally called the place that does all the fish.
Yeah, you pointed that out.
It's incredible.
I thought that was great. There's a bunch more of references in that phone book scene, but you'd have to pause and read them. If you want to know more, just check out the trivia on the IMDb trivia, where we get all of these facts. The last one for the trivia of the night is, at the end of the movie, there's a fake movie trailer about a boy named Ramirez who, using a shotgun, fought off his entire zombie family. This is a spoof of the Menendez brothers? Menendez brothers, who murdered their parents with a shotgun in August 1989. Do you know about that at all, that case? I brought that up because I thought that might be something we could look into and see what that's all about, because I've never even heard of that. Murdered their parents with a shotgun. That's crazy. That's like some sinister shit right there.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about some Shaun of the Dead. Let's start with Patrick, since this is like one of your all-time favorite movies, I'm guessing. What are some scenes that still hold up for you the most, and is there anything that's changed for you or doesn't hold up as well?
So, probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie is just where they're sat in the house.
Just playing
And
video games, that scene?
They've just realised that there's 2 zombies outside, but he opens the curtain and you can hear them. And then once he closes the curtains, their sound is gone. It's as if they're not even there.
Yeah.
Which is just like, it's such a British thing to do.
I'm pretty sure the shadow went away too.
Yeah, it did. You know, it basically like...
I need to line my whole house with those curtains.
you see like weird old people in England, and if they ever see something at the front of their house they don't like, they'll just close the curtains. Like fucking kids. Like if I was ever playing like football in the street or something, any of the old people down the
They
road
don't
would
like
just
sports.
close their fucking curtains. Just
Like-
pretend we're not there.
If he was playing American football, I'd be watching, but
No, he fucking wouldn't. If he was playing American football, he'd put me down with a shotgun. Fucking morons. The amount of fucking armor they wear. It's unbelievable. It's like jousting.
exactly. We stole that from you guys too.
Yeah.
Is there anything that doesn't hold up as well this time?
No, honestly. I don't watch it clearly as much as you have.
Well, I don't know. How many times do you think you've watched it?
4?
Yeah, I've definitely watched it more than 4 times.
Yeah.
Probably like once a year. But yeah, for me, there's like it's not one of those movies that gets worse by any means, but it's definitely one of those movies where you get so familiar with it that you can kind of tune out.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, when I was looking up things or making sure I was sending you guys things while the movie was going, I could look down and look back up and know exactly where we were.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's not a worse movie by any means. It's just you get kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Kyle, first time watching, what are some scenes that you really liked?
I can't like really think of a scene I can like. The only thing that's really bothering me in my head right now was when they were all stuck in the Jaguar that had the child lock on, and like when I watch zombie movies and stuff, I'm like figuring like how the fuck would I get out of things when I see them happen. And when he first realized that there was child lock was on, the first thing I would have done is fucking turn the child lock off. Like,
Right,
and
you
then
wanna
they're driving in
always
the
have
car,
an
and that's
escape.
all I can think about the whole fucking time.
You just want to always have an escape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
just bothered me so much.
I've seen so many zombie movies, and I feel like it's weirdly something that's probably quite good to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Because, you know, zombies aren't real, but if anything like that did
Allegedly.
happen, the plan that you would use to get out of a city is probably still going to be the same regardless. You know, I feel like it's good to have a plan.
Would you get out of the city? What would your plan be?
North.
Yeah, where it gets cold.
Yeah, well, north where it gets cold, but if it's in the winter, then I would travel east. So it's still cold, but it's not like deathly cold.
Interesting. And what's your reasoning for that?
Because it would be easier to survive, but it'd still be quite remote.
Okay. Most people's reasoning, I would say, to go north is because it's colder. The body's
yeah.
will slow down.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, you do. It's still blood and tissue and all that stuff in them. It would start to freeze, especially if there's no body warmth circulating through it.
Yeah. But I mean, you could do that at -10. But that's a much more livable temperature than -40.
It is, but it wouldn't freeze as fast. Like the zombies would still have time to catch up.
But there would be a significant amount of snow everywhere.
Yeah, man, fucking live in an igloo. You can live literally anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it that much. It's not really something I would.
If I was living in England still, my plan was to go to the Isle of Gundy.
Oh,
which
it
has-
wasn't to go to the Winchester.
No, it has, it's got a population of something like 65 people.
And how would you get there?
Boat.
Yeah, I'd probably do a boat or an island. But do you think that zombies, if they went in the water, that they would just float? Ooh, I got loud.
No. They'd probably sink because there's no oxygen in their lungs.
There might be gases escaping their body and stuff though as they deteriorate. So I don't know if that would help them.
Does methane float though?
Bloat.
Or is it heavier than?
Dead bodies get thrown in the lake and stuff.
They do.
If they're not tied down, they float up, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
they're still
so.
going to be dead. They're just going to be bloated and floating. Are they going to eventually float to you?
Well, I think it's just like any person. Like it depends.
Well, if the island's far enough out, the current would gradually take them around it anyway.
I think I would get I would go find an island, but I'd also find like a big yacht that had a fuck ton of supplies on it.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but the amount of upkeep for a yacht is unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd have enough fuel to make that work. Your best bet would be a sailboat, and even that's dicey as fuck.
But like, you wouldn't have the time or resources to constantly repair your fucking massive yacht.
Yeah. I'm basically at the point where...
Your ideal situation...
A tank.
...is like a rowing boat and then like an abandoned shipwreck.
No, just a tank with a bunch of food in it.
Yeah, well, you'd be living in your own piss and shit, though.
No, you do piss jugs, throw them out the roof.
There's zombies on top of it, you can't.
Why would there be zombies on it? You just fucking hit it full blast, they'll fly off.
You're out of fuel.
Well, you get fuel in it.
Alright, you got fuel in your tank. How do you get it back into your tank? You've got fuel inside the tank with you. How do you insert it into the tank?
You drive really fast until they fall off when you're about to fall out or run out of gas.
You got no fuel.
You just spin the
when
top
you're about to
really fast.
run out of gas.
No, you've got fuel in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When your gas gauge is about to go out, you go real fast for that last little bit, so everything's off of you.
Tanks don't go fast.
This one would. You soup it up.
Okay, so you're in a super tank.
Oh yeah.
Right. I see. I actually have no idea how fast.
Zombies
tanks go.
aren't real, okay? I can make shit up in my mind too.
Joke's on you, tanks aren't real.
I'd probably just whip over. I'd whip over to the Sev real quick, get as much junk food as I can, come home and just eat snacks and play video games till the power goes out, and then that's it.
That's it? What do you mean?
That's it. I'd just run out of food and die, I guess.
Really?
You would just be playing Rock Band and wrap the whole game. Well, I guess that's it.
I have headphones on too. A zombie comes in, I'm just over and over again. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if nobody else is like surviving and they're trying to fight just as hard as I would be. What makes me think I'm going to be any different? Why wouldn't I just like wait it out and just like enjoy the last few moments of my life rather than like live in complete and utter fear and sadness and turmoil?
Yeah, but that's what life is now anyway.
Yeah.
Right, but everybody else is fighting and surviving.
Barely.
If everybody around me was on fire because the only way out is to run through gasoline, I'd just sit back and watch them run through gasoline and then just wait it out till I die.
There's no way you're going to put the fire off if you're running through gasoline. That's a stupid metaphor.
That's the exact same thing as running through fucking zombies.
No, it isn't.
You don't have to run through the zombies. Unless you've got Kyle's super
Don't
tank.
you have to run through the zombies?
No.
How else are you going to get anywhere?
You hunker
Go
down
around them.
and shoot them.
How are you going to go around them? They're everywhere.
No
they surround
one lives
you.
in Canada. There'll be about 6 people.
Jokes are jokes, Patrick, but come on, buddy. There's a lot of fucking people in Canada, buddy.
Barely. Right, so Canada is something like 7 times the size of the UK, but has half the population.
Let's think this city alone, okay? 250,000 people. Let's say 200,000 of those people are zombies, which leaves 50,000 people scattered around the city trying to fight through that many people. There's basically 4 times as many people as you that are attacking you at all times. And that's not considering that some of those people that are survivors are sick, elderly, young, or just not gonna fight.
Right. Okay, I get that. But 250,000 people live here. I'm not always surrounded by at least 4 people.
Right, but in a state of panic, everybody's one goal is to go outside and try and drive somewhere safe. There's going to be cars stuck. People are going to be trapped. You're going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to get out.
Nah.
I think in your mind,
if I heard one thing on the news, me and Raph would be fucking gone.
But that's what I'm telling you is you're not the only person like that. That's why I'm saying.
No, I'm talking weeks before things get bad.
This is why what I'm telling you is it's not going to take weeks. It's going to be, you're going to find out tomorrow. Like Shaun did. He woke up, it was changed. That's that. Okay.
Yeah, but that's London.
Right, but
Do you know what the population of London is and how fucking condensed that city is?
Sure, but in example, you wake up tomorrow and let's say every 4 houses surrounding you. Okay, your apartment complex alone.
Yep.
3/4 of your apartment complex is zombies right now.
They're all old people.
How are you getting out?
Why are they all out of their apartments?
They're zombies. They'd be getting out.
Why are you guys trying to run?
Yeah, but
That's
you
what
can
I'm
you can
wondering.
assume that the doors are locked because people lock their doors when they're on their own.
Okay, but maybe everybody was trying to leave at once and they started turning. Or
Even all
something.
the old people.
Yeah, who knows? I'm telling you, it's not going to be as simple as you think. Everybody thinks that they're going to be able to just get in a car and drive to home free.
Man, you just kill them.
And that's the thing is everybody thinks that.
Yeah, you just
So
kill
what
them,
I would do is I'd wait it out.
Okay, so London's population is 8.13 million.
Right?
What's Saskatoon's population?
Let's say about 250,000.
I'll Google it. Hang on.
But yeah, so I'm just saying in context, that's, let's say 100,000 of those people even. That's 100,000 vehicles trying to leave the city at the same time.
What are you gonna do, Kenny?
I just told you I'm going to sit and wait it out.
Wait it out for what? Just till one comes and bites you? And it comes in your house and starts walking towards you. You're just gonna stand
No, I'm
there
going to
and
fight, but I'm not going to like go out and face 100. I'd fight them off one at a time until I run out of food, and then I'd just like bite the bullet or something.
Just seems strange to me that you'd fucking basically just straight give up.
I mean, like I said, I'd be playing Rock Band and shit.
There's no electricity.
Yeah, man.
Well, if there's no electricity, then I guess I'd have to leave, but...
I've never understood that because realistically the electricity isn't monitored by one man
It's self-sustaining
consistently.
basically, at
Like
this point.
it would probably run for a good few weeks afterwards.
Unless somebody crashed into the fucking grid or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
which is
Wasn't-
more likely than anything.
Wasn't that I Am Legend that he like the
Yeah, he
power
was like
went out?
watching movies and shit on
but
the VCR and
But
stuff.
the power went out too, didn't it? In some places,
Yeah, I don't know. Like
they turned it off.
I think my best bet would be to wait a little while until things cool down because everybody's going to panic at once and try to leave. So my worst case scenario would be I hang out here because, okay, let's say all those people leave the city. That's their instinct. Then that leaves all this food and supplies here for me.
True.
So if I wait it out and I have to go out, who knows, maybe half those people took some zombies out with them, half those people left and now they changed somewhere else. Then I can go out in a week or two, go get supplies and stuff. There's no point in me trying to leave with them because we're all going to be going
Yeah.
to the same place.
I think what I would do is probably find a house like close to a grocery market.
A Winchester's.
Well, see, I feel like we'll probably be quite lucky in Saskatoon if something like that ever did happen because it's not an international airport.
Yeah, it is. Saskatoon is it not?
It's not. No, you
I
can't.
guess Vancouver would be the nearest one, or maybe Calgary.
Calgary.
But yeah.
Yeah. So realistically, anything that was going to happen would happen in every other city before it happened in Saskatoon.
Well, there's like transfers the same day and stuff too.
Yeah. But chances are,
Yeah.
You'd
It would
hear
be a
about
lot
it.
slower.
yeah.
But like I said, even then, it's like it's
If
way
it
easier
was
to
in
wait
the-
it out.
If it was in the winter here as well,
Yeah.
like it would be slow. There would be no one outside anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's another issue you'd bring up is like snow would make it harder for people to leave as well too. Though when everybody's trying to escape, there'd be a lot more accidents, a lot
Yeah,
more.
but-
like, there's just so many variables where like when they say stay put, like honestly, like it's similar to like The Mist and this movie. Like if the military is gonna come, they're gonna come clean up as soon as they can. So if you're just hanging out and waiting, and the military is still a thing, and it's gonna be here to clean up the mess, it's gonna come eventually.
Maybe that's why all
So
these
it's
people
better
have
to just
big
wait
trucks,
it out.
jacked up trucks here. They're
Yeah.
all scared of zombies
No, I think that's just because they have tiny dicks
and scared of zombies.
and work on the rigs. But yeah, okay, Shaun of the Dead. One of my favorite scenes that still I come back to every time I watch it, that I have to like stop and watch no matter what I'm doing, is the comparison shot of him walking to work the day before versus him walking to work the next day, because it's
Yeah, it's
literally even the
beautiful.
same cast members and everything, like shot for shot, just the same spots, and it's just such
everyone in that first scene is also in that scene. Like you see the girl that is in their garden coming out of her house in the morning, and you see the groomsman in the shop behind him the day before as well.
There's the homeless guy that he gives the change to.
Yeah.
Even the soccer ball kid shows up at some point.
Yeah, man, every single one of them.
And it's stuff
so
like that
well
that I
done.
think is just like well planned out and well shot. And I think that's a big reason why this movie deserves the respect that it gets.
Yeah.
Is because it puts a little bit more thought into just the individual shots. Even like the fucking record throwing, I thought was funny that they were doing like commentary on the actual records. Like that was the first printing.
Yeah.
Like shit like
Don't
that.
wreck that one.
It's like
it
the Batman
was the,
soundtrack. Throw it.
He threw the initial one, and then it was the very fast zoom in to them suddenly sifting through,
Yeah,
trying
I
to find
love that.
records.
Yeah, it's very stylish.
Because I know
this
that
movie.
panic too.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know the panic of it, but I'm I
The
collect
fever dream
records.
of record
Like
collecting.
I collect records, so like when I go to a store, it's so weird. I don't know if other people that collect records do this, but if I go to a store where I'm looking at records, I'm like going through with like 2 fingers on each hand, flipping through, and I can do it pretty quick. And I always look at other people looking through to see, and if they're doing that like 2 fingers on each hand, I know they collect records.
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
just doing like one at a time, I'm like, yeah, they're not a record collector.
Yeah, man. There's just so much good stuff in this movie.
Yeah,
It's one of those
a
movies that
fantastic film.
everybody should watch at least once in their
Yeah,
life. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys got anything else you want to say about this flick?
Go watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you
definitely watch.
if you haven't seen it, it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, we aren't going to dive into too much, because if we did, we'd ruin it for you. I think this movie is definitely one that I don't want to dive too much into for people, because there's enough
I think
laughs
most
and
people
stuff.
have seen it, but if you haven't, you should watch it.
But yeah, so next week we will be watching. Well, I think we're going to record a Life Legends, so that'll be out this coming Tuesday, because this is getting posted tonight. So Tuesday you can expect a Life Legends. Not sure what we're going to talk about yet, but that should be fun. And then after that, we will be doing a movie night for the movie Midnight Meat Train, which is a listener request. So, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
We'll see how that goes. But if you want to get in touch with us or follow us on social media, you can follow us on Twitter at Life with Kenny, Instagram Life with Kenny Pod, and Facebook the Life with Kenny Podcast. Don't forget to favorite us, rate us, subscribe on the podcast apps and social media. That definitely helps us get messages and listeners.
And tell your friends.
Tell your friends. And let's see what else. Yeah, I don't know. What else? Fuck Judge Reinhold, I guess.
Fuck him in the ass.
Oh yeah, I need to point out, you guys are saying it wrong. It's not Judge Reinhold.
I know. I actually have the utmost respect for Judge Reinhold.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
There's no T at the end. Even when you spell it online, there's no T.
Why are you like this?
All right. Fuck Judge Reinhold.
Hold.
Get a life.